Kempton to Soweto, had some neighbors right next door that never stepped into the ghetto. The rato passed away before she stepped into stilettos. Most machitas are Pinocchio that never met your pedo. Most of our fathers were the type to beat our mothers, so our mothers wore face beat just to keep it undercover. And deep beneath the covers, they
Born Ricardo Molloy on April 2nd, 1992, Priddy Ugly is one of Angolan and South African descent. He grew up speaking Portuguese and Tswana or Soto, and like many real stories in this game, he came from humble beginnings. His early childhood was spent living in his grandmother's garage in Soweto, before his dad, who worked as a soldier, was able to move the family to the east of Joburg, where they became the first black family in the neighborhood. Already, that tells you this was a life of breaking barriers. He grew up in Kempton Park on the East Rand, where grimy rap culture, street energy and raw hustle was everywhere. The street DNA shaped his perspective early on. Music wasn't just something to do, it was an art form to him. Something spiritual, something precise, something sacred. But believe it or not, before the mic, there was the field. Priddy was heavily into sports, athletics especially, and even made it onto national stages. But a knee injury stopped that journey cold. A lot of people would have lost direction, but Priddy pivoted with the same discipline he used in sports and poured himself into music.
Love, hate. I'll take the shoes on your toes off. I'll take your clothes off. So on and so forth.
At just 14 years old, Priddy Ugly got signed to EMI, a label that would later be absorbed by Universal. That's the same label that housed legends like HP and Mendoza. But as we all know, signing young doesn't mean blowing up young. It took him another decade of work, rejection and evolution to fully step into the artist he was fully becoming. One of his earliest foundations was being part of a collective called Black Print, which included names like Frank Casino and other dope MCs, some of whom fell off along the journey, but Priddy kept going. That group gave him his roots as a serious MC, someone who saw rap as culture, not clout. After high school, he started at ASC, the Academy of Sound Engineering. But get this, he had to drop out in his third year, not because he failed, but because he was succeeding so much musically that he had to choose the grind over the classroom, and he chose the grind. In 2017, Priddy signed with Ambitious Entertainment, right when the label was being exposed for exploiting artists. And like a lot of talent who passed through there, he saw the dark side of the industry. But he didn't fold. Just before COVID hit, Priddy left the label and has been independent ever since. Through it all, he stayed consistent, humble and hungry. And finally, in 2024, he got a long overdue W when he won his first Summer Award for Best Hip Hop Album.
I'm with my dogs, man.
I go by the name of Priddy Ugly, the 30th annual South African Music Award, Best Hip Hop Album winner, Priddy Ugly for Dust. I'm so humble, man. Like, people have been asking me how I feel about me, and I just felt like until I have the award in my hand, I don't know, it hasn't registered yet, you know. So like, having it in my hand with my name engraved feels surreal.
That moment, that wasn't luck. That was 20 years of pure effort. That was every lyric, every sacrifice, and every setback. See, Priddy Ugly isn't just another rapper. He's a custodian of this thing. He's one of the few MCs who still treats rap like a craft. Someone who spits for the soul, not just for the streams. From living in a garage in Soweto, to being the first black family in a white neighborhood, to sports injuries, early label signings, broken deals, and finally claiming his respect on his own terms. Priddy Ugly's story is proof that hard work pays off, even if it takes time. He's not flashy, he's not chasing the hype, but if you listen closely, you'll hear the voice of a man who has always had something real to say. If you respect real rap and real journeys, go run up his latest project and make sure you subscribe if you want more deep dives into the artistry behind the music. This has been the Artistry of Priddy Ugly.
With my dogs, man, para in a push. up for the gata. You don't wanna go to court for a kop of the daga. They shot the homie in a kop, need a mop for his mata. With my dogs, mayon, die jager. Para in a Porsche, pas up for the gatas. You don't wanna go to court for a kop of the daga. They shot the homie in a kop, need a mop for his mata.
Katotso akina plan. Step 1, kena bata. Hanka tola ya legag. Step 2, lero naja. You don't wanna go to war. Niggas poor hill, tasata. In Pitori with the pounds, tan si amacha. Sosh plata. Niggas hard cause babata. Na que morre di yon pachucata. Gold teeth tontada. Might mix the Louis V ka Nevada. 40 crooks Alibaba. I do not buy my jewels on Alibaba. Represado shots go. Oh hell. Shandan overthrow